Sports is not just about stats, and reality TV is not just about love. And we are going to be spilling the tea every single week here at Fan Up. But today's an exciting episode because we have a guest. And we don't just have a guest, but we have a professional basketball player guest, which is super fun. And he also models. So we're going to get the tea from him. We're going to be talking about what's going on in the NBA right now. We're going to be talking about him and his personal life. So let's kind of jump right in. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Diamant Blazi. I play basketball in Overtime Elite down in Atlanta. I'm from France. I was born in Paris, and I grew up in the south of France. Pretty much everything.
And so how up to date are you with the NBA right now?
I'm on my way, I would say, most definitely. I was playing professional back in France. I decided to move here to pursue my dream. And I signed pro here in Overtime Elite.
Okay.
Hopefully next year I get to a high major D1 college basketball school.
Okay.
And then I'll get to the league.
What position do you play?
I'll play the 3 to 4.
3 to 4. Okay. And do you follow NBA drama right now? Because we love talking about the drama.
A little bit.
You do?
Not so much, but a little bit.
Okay. Well, there is one thing I definitely want to touch on, which is Mike Malone. Do you know who that is? He just got fired.
Nuggets head coach.
He's the Nuggets head coach. Okay, so imagine this. This is the tea right now. Nuggets head coach. Been the head coach for, 8 to 10 years? Yeah. Been the most winning season winning 10 years the Denver Nuggets have ever had. And they're going into playoffs. It's 3 games till playoffs, and they fire their head coach. What do you think happened? From a guy who's in the locker room, what do you think happened?
To fire the head coach?
3 games before playoffs.
They're in the playoffs. They just won a championship 2 years ago.
Yep.
They have the perfect offense for Nikola Jokic. I mean, it's just a perfect setup there. And they actually cleaned house. So the GM got fired and the head coach got fired literally a week before the playoffs start.
And they're doing good. They're not doing bad. I mean, they had a couple losses, but what do you think happened?
From a player standpoint, for a head coach to be fired, it's either something about money or he got into a fight and he was in the wrong.
Yeah.
That's a great point. It's definitely got to be about the extension and money, probably. Yeah.
Because I've never been in a locker room of a
professional
professional
especially
sport.
if you're saying that they were doing so good and there were no really reason for him.
Yeah.
When you're a head coach for so long and you're doing so good, you definitely want your business to go better.
Yeah.
So that's probably something about that. He didn't want to back up on his proposal, maybe.
Yeah, it's shocking for me because I know it's you have Jokic, he's the star of the Nuggets, and his contract extension is up in summer. Yeah. It's time to renew or not, and that's a big time for him. If he was in good standing with Malone, I feel like that would affect his decision, whether he's going to stay or not. So it's kind of a bold move to do right before his contract extension. So I'm he went on an interview and said, he knew about it, but he didn't make a stance. Is there something with them? He's obviously not that cool with him if he's okay with this happening because he's a star. He has an input.
Yeah, seems like things might be falling apart in Denver. I mean, I know they just brought in Russell Westbrook. They have Jamal Murray. They have Michael Porter Jr. They have such a stacked offense, an incredible team. And coming off the championship just a few years ago, again, perfect offense for the Joker. And, his contract coming up, it makes you think that, maybe he's going to bolt.
Yeah.
Maybe a bigger market's in play.
I would love to ask your opinion. I mean, you've played for different teams. I think the hardest part about being an athlete or a coach is being randomly released or randomly fired. And what is that like in the basketball world? Do you get a heads up or do you know in advance, or can it just be that day they're like, hey, because the Luka thing, he found out that day.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Hey, something similar happened to me earlier this year. I got drafted to one of the best teams in my league that I play right now, the RWE. And on the same day, I got stole to the cohorts. I got traded on the same day. I was already ready, mentally prepared to go to this team, and I got traded to the cohorts, which is an amazing team. I had my season there, but sometimes the something that is not playing happens.
You have to pack your bags and the next
all
flight
the teams
out?
are in the same city, hopefully, so it wasn't too much work for me. But mentally, that's something. You got to switch all the teammates, get ready to get with all new staff and start over. But it's shit. As an athlete, you got to be ready to move on and be able to manage all of that.
Wow. I mean, while we're kind of on the subject, what is it like for locker room, getting along with your teammates? Do typically all the guys get along? There's a lot of drama right now with the Suns. They had a dream team. I mean, you've got Devin Booker, you got Kevin Durant. You think this is a playoff team.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah, they don't make playoffs. And apparently there's a lot of drama in the locker room that texts were released that all of the guys are kind of talking smack about Kevin Durant, that he's checked out. So is that normal? Like, you guys are guys, I'm a girl. We're always talking smack. But do you boys do you guys talk about each other? Is there drama in the locker room?
I would say a little bit.
Okay.
Obviously, when you turn pro, you gotta learn how to deal with your teammate on the court. So on the court, everything is smooth, and the team, are trying to build the biggest chemistry they can.
Okay.
But in the locker room, of course, there's some stuff that are on showed, and like some drama happens sometimes. So sometimes some fights, some disagreement. Yeah, like a lot.
What's the most drama you've had in your
I don't know if I can release that.
Can you give me? Have you ever gotten in a fight with a teammate?
I did. Yeah, with my
Physical.
point guard. Physical.
Oh, no.
With his point
Was he
guard.
not passing you the rock enough? What happened?
Yeah, not enough.
That's new. That's new. Wow. Okay. So fun. And so you also model, right?
I do as
Tell
well.
us a little bit about that.
I started modeling at the same time my social media started growing, being around the basketball world and all that exposure that I had the chance to be around. I got reached out by some modeling agency. I had a chance to do the cover of the Icon magazine for Bruce Weber, for Louis Vuitton,
Wow.
Prada, and Dolce & Gabbana. So
Those are huge.
Yeah,
Wow.
those are a couple
Congrats.
of good brands. Yeah.
Wow. So where do you see yourself going now? Do you prefer modeling, basketball, both?
For me, I'm a professional basketball player.
Yeah.
The future is in the NBA, working every day. You see me here on the weekend. I'm here at Coachella having fun and doing some business. But every day of the week, on Monday to Friday, I'm practicing. And then I do my business on the weekend during the season, fully locked in and ready to step up.
The crazy thing, even talking to you, is that you're 19.
Yeah.
You're very mature. You've obviously, been through a lot being in professional basketball, and I totally see that happening for you. So good luck. I mean, it's definitely hard, but you're 19. You've got time. You've got time to develop. Where do you see yourself? Like, at what point do you want to get to the NBA?
I would say ideally in like 3 years.
Yeah.
In 3 years, I feel like I still need to grow a little bit more as a man and as a basketball player to like be able to deserve a spot in the league. But yeah, in 3 years would be the timing for me, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We're out of time right now, you guys. It's almost NBA Finals, which is a fun time. So, Tej, what's your take right now? Who do you have kind of going to the finals?
Yeah.
Talk basketball with me for a little bit.
It's a toss-up. I think in the East, it looks like the Celtics are the favorite. Unfortunately, I'm not a Boston fan, but I think the Celtics will win the East. And I think out of the West, it could be a multitude of teams. It could be a surprise team, like if Golden State can get things going and get that chemistry again. They had a pretty bad loss to the Spurs where ex-Golden State Warrior and Steph Curry's best friend, Harrison Barnes, hit this miraculous three at the buzzer to beat them. Tough loss because they're playing for seeding right now.
Yeah.
You want to avoid some tougher teams. But I mean, the West is completely up for grabs. OKC is obviously the favorite.
Yep.
So I think an OKC Boston Finals is probably what it's going to be. But getting back to the NBA, I mean, I was curious. You play overseas, and what's so incredible about the NBA is such an international powerhouse, right? Mm-hmm. You have the best talent from around the world vying for these small amount of spots on these teams in the NBA, and it's everyone's dream to make it. So through Paris and then coming over here to the States and seeing, following the NBA very closely, who was your favorite player in Paris growing up? Like, who did you see, like, from the European circuit, the Paris circuit, that you kind of emulated your game after or thought, wow, this is such a cool role model, I would love to follow in his footsteps? And then follow-up question, favorite international player, and then favorite American NBA player?
Question.
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a great question. Growing up, I always followed the American basketball before and even during I started playing basketball. I would say the American one, I was looking a lot to Jamal Crawford and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, wow. Giannis is the best, right.
Giannis, as a European player, I would say that's the one I was looking into, especially with my body type and my athleticism. That's something I was really relating to.
Sure.
And I would say, Giannis, Jamal, and probably Kevin Durant as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. Did you ever get to watch anything on Kobe?
Yeah, I did. I grew up watching some of his highlights, trying to pick up some of his moves.
Yeah.
Definitely a tough player.
I think all of us are big-time Kobe fans. So it's great to hear.
I wonder what it's like growing up in France, and what is basketball culture like there? Obviously, everybody's a European football fan, but do you have a lot of NBA fans in Paris or in France?
Yeah, actually, every basketball player in France looking up to the NBA. That's like everywhere, I would say overseas, in my opinion, the the goal for a basketball player. That's the league people are trying to go to.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is some great type of competition over there, but the NBA is really the one that the fan want to see out there in Europe.
And how about when you're growing up? Like for us, you know, when we grow up and you go into sports, it's obvious that like basketball is a prime option. But in Europe, growing up in Europe, is that
in Europe? That's
not a thing, right? Okay.
That's why it's a little hard, just because like there's not as many teams as there is here in the United States. No program. Everything is about soccer over there.
Yeah.
The real football.
Yes.
Like
I can't believe you just called it soccer.
Mbappe, right?
I'm like, yeah, Mbappe.
Everybody want to be Mbappe in Europe. That's the main sport.
I want to be
say.
Mbappe.
I would say it's like soccer, then rugby, and then basketball.
It is crazy
Rugby
how different sports are here.
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
different.
The culture here is so much different.
So how was that process for you? Were you always really tall and then you realized, wow, I should play basketball?
My dad was like 6'9".
Wow.
So growing up, I was always the tallest everywhere, every class, especially in France. There's not as many like tall people, and I was in the south of France. I was one of the only black kid that was trying to play basketball.
Wow.
So it was like a key. My dad was playing professional basketball overseas before he passed away. Then I got to take it back. I got a basketball player family. My brothers play. My sister was playing basketball as well. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I love to see when it's like in the family.
Yeah.
Well, this was incredible. It was really great to meet you. We're doing rapid fire episodes today, but this was super awesome.
It was nice
I
to
can't
meet
wait to see you in the NBA.
Soon.
Yes.
Yeah,
Soon.
and
Best of luck, Diamant.
yeah, check him out on Instagram because he's got a massive following. Obviously, he's achieved immense success, Louis Vuitton, all these things, and an incredible basketball player. So we appreciate you so much.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you guys next week on Fan Up.